Hey guys, it's Saru, and it's been quite some time, huh? For everyone watching, Happy New Year. And to all the new people that are watching, well, welcome to my channel. It's been a couple of months, give or take a few days, that I've actually made a video here on the channel, other than the video I made in December, and I'm not sorry. I took a break and it's been fantastic for me. During this time, I decided to just sit back, relax, and, well, I took a mental break. I did that and it's been great, for me, at least. Also been playing a lot of Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War on my PlayStation 5, and it's been kind of a mess, but it's been fun playing with some old friends, playing some zombies non-stop, having my friends just scream, zombies, let's play some zombies, or playing multiplayer and get everybody mad at me because I'm using thermal, so yeah. Speaking of which, this video is sponsored by Atroxity's Call of Duty services. If you're in need of one of those max ranks or one of those sexy, well, pesky camos on Cold War or Modern Warfare, Atrocity services will actually allow you to do just that in literally mere minutes in a non-invasive way. Seriously, it just takes a few minutes. I didn't believe it for myself, so I gave it a try and, well, just take a look. Now, if you don't really want to pay anything just yet because you're not entirely sure, they are doing giveaways, so if you're interested in the services, you can visit his link in the description below. So I thought I'd start off this year by listing off the top 10 games that I'm excited for this year, whether it's them releasing or just new updates altogether. So let's get right into it. So to start it off, let's start with number 10, Evil Dead the game. This is a game I'm pretty excited about because it just hits me in the feels, fellas. It hits me in the feels. I've watched all the Evil Dead movies, the remake, and the TV show Ash vs. the Evil Dead, and I've always had a slight attachment to it, whether it was because of the remake was just ridiculously gory for no reason whatsoever, either that, or because the original movies and the TV show were pretty funny and they had some kind of exciting factor to it. Plus, I mean, the TV show had Lucy Lawless, which you really can't go wrong with it. Either way, I was attached to it. I'm excited to see Ash and the Evil Dead gang return, especially after the show was canceled again. Finally, to see them again in this video game, I think it's going to be pretty cool. Plus, it'll have multiplayer and PvP, so I think that's going to be pretty exciting. So we'll see. Number 9, TERA's next generation update. I know many would be surprised that TERA would even be on this list to begin with, or at least that it's too low on the list. Realistically speaking, the game is just getting an overhaul graphically for the next generation consoles. So if you're like me and you've played the game on the PlayStation 5, then the game has been pretty great for you. However, if you have played on an Xbox Series X or S, you may have noticed a lot of crashes for a number of reasons. Whether you're logging in too fast, you're checking the cache up, you're just existing, you just basically crash. But ultimately, it's great because the game hasn't really been updated or optimized just yet for next generation consoles. So that means it's going to be pretty cool once it actually is optimized, because right now it's just backwards compatibility. So once that update patch releases, the 4K textures and pretty much looking fantastic. To quote one of the team members, the game is going to look like true TERA. Don't know what that means. I think it's going to be pretty neato. Plus, this year has a lot in store for the game, so I'm actually pretty interested, especially next month, which I'll make a video soon enough. Number 8, Ghostwire Tokyo. When I first saw the game, the medium on, I think, the Game Awards, don't quote me on that, I'm not entirely sure, I can't remember, and I realized that I could have checked on this before, but I'm not going to, because that's just who I am. But anyways, it was one of those award shows, I can't remember, to be honest, might have been E3. I don't know. Anyways, I realized that the game was hitting on Windows PC and Xbox devices first, and then eventually the PlayStation 5. And I was a little bit bummed out, but finally I saw some gameplay and it wasn't for me. But I'm glad I wasn't too bummed out, because the moment Ghostwire Tokyo actually came out with its trailer and basically explaining how it's like, I think it hit all those exciting parts of the game that I love and replaced the mini hype that I had for the medium with Ghostwire Tokyo. Now, the game is an upcoming adventure title that offers supernatural background to the game, fighting against the paranormal with some kick-ass abilities like you're Constantine or something, well, like against ghosts or crazy spirits, I don't even know. I mean, when even the combat director of the game described it as karate meets magic, I was intrigued. So we'll see. Number 7, LEGO Star Wars, the Skywalker Saga. Now hear me out. I realize most of you here at this moment are gasping. You're like, oh god, he's a child. But listen to me, fellas, listen. The game will offer around 300 playable characters. That's like over 75 from the last LEGO game. Not even entirely sure. There's 23 planets and moons with 28 unique locations that players can visit. Hello, visit. Plus, you have full-on fights and boarding capital ships. You can just fight them. It's basically a huge open-world adventure game, and I'm so excited to actually try it out, even if it's just a LEGO game. Now, you can use the Millennium Falcon, you can use X-Wings to kind of disable these ships that are like roaming around, so you can just grab one and fly and fight them. And it looks super fun. It's pretty much everything that I wanted out of Battlefront 3 back in like 2006. So I'm excited to see what comes from this, even if it is just a Lego game and whatever, but honestly, some of these games have been pretty fantastic, so we'll see. Number 6, Skull and Bones and God of War Ragnarok. Now this is indeed a toss-up between Skull and Bones and, well, Ragnarok. I'm equally excited for both. To be perfectly honest with you guys, I'm not really sure which one I'm excited for more when it comes to this level of excitement, but Skull and Bones makes you think of a more realistic version of Sea of Thieves, and hopefully just as, if not more exciting and fun than Sea of Thieves. While God of War Ragnarok is, well, God of War. I mean, with the epic release that it had with the previous title, I can't even begin to imagine what Ragnarok will bring. Plus the one word we get to hear everywhere: boy. So yeah, I mean, it's hard to say for sure which one I'm more excited for, so I'll just say both. So if you want to be a god and slap some hoes around, you have Ragnarok. And if you want to be a pirate, be on a ship, travel across the seas, fight other players and board with them, or just play with other players and destroy their ships, well then you have Skull and Bones. Plus I'm a little biased here because I love Sea of Thieves, and when I played it on PC it was just like one of my favorite games, but unfortunately I couldn't play with too many people, and I had so many issues with it on the Microsoft Store that it made me just pissed off. Also sad that it's never going to be coming on the PlayStation devices, so Number 5, Crimson Desert. I have to admit I had difficulty placing this title as number 5, but really it's justified for me. Originally announced as an MMORPG with a single player experience, I quickly caught on before most, if not pretty much every single person on the internet, that the team erased the word MMORPG from all of its descriptions, and is now truly a single player game with optional co-op for some of its areas, and I don't know if it's dungeons or what do you want to call it. Let's call it regions. The game is basically a prequel of sorts set in the same universe as Black Desert. And really, I mean, besides all that, besides like any like past or anything, it looks absolutely fucking great. I mean, despite my disappointment, or really, I guess it wasn't really much disappointment because I don't really know if I want another MMORPG. I mean, can you really think about it like a PvE MMORPG and there's a PvP game in Black Desert? I don't really know, but I guess I'm not that disappointed. More excited, I guess. I'm not entirely sure here. I feel weird, guys. I feel weird. But it looks damn clean. I mean, just look at that gameplay for dragons. So this is something I'm definitely looking forward to and I'm interested in. And a special thank you to the Crimson Desert team for reaching out to me on Twitter and talking to me a little bit about the videos I've made for Crimson Desert. I appreciate it, and I'm glad you guys liked it. Number 4, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. Now, when I first got my PlayStation 5, I immediately jumped into, and I have to say for a few days there, I played Astro's Playground non-stop. Seriously, it was just super fun, and the way they used the controller was just mind-bending to me. So thinking on that and the fact that the next upcoming Ratchet & Clank will utilize pretty much everything that the new console has to offer, I'm pretty excited to see how it will perform, especially how it will feel and look. Now, you know it's going to be good when it's a PlayStation 5 exclusive title that won't be held back by PlayStation 4 limitations. That means all development will actually be focused on it being actually a next generation title. I'm seriously excited to see what that baby can do. Dying Light. Now, if there's one game out there I'm truly a fan of, is Dying Light. I mean, I was in the top 100 first people to get the platinum for the game worldwide, and to say I was a fan is an understatement. I've played the hell out of that game and made so many videos back in 2015 that it became part of their weekly videos from the community. Plus, I even started a fancy new trend back then, but let's not get into that because I'll just be like that old guy in a bar that's like, back in my day. So Dying Light 2 promises to actually expand on that world and make it bigger, better, and crazier. I wish we had more info on this title, but we really don't. We just had a little bit of gameplay, which wasn't like mind explosion or anything like that. But if there's a game that I expect I'll be going into and disappear for a few days, it's probably this one. Number 2. Hogwarts Legacy. If anyone has followed me over the years, and I do mean prior to really being on YouTube, I mean like before I had any subscribers on YouTube, because it was just like a backup channel. At some point, this channel was actually just a channel for me to store some VODs or VODs for you hipster fellas from Twitch. Then you'll know that I've played every single Harry Potter game in existence. Yes, even the Lego ones. And I streamed them, and some of them are probably on here still on a playlist somewhere from years ago. But you can tell it's old, mostly because it said stream, and secondly because it was on Twitch. So I haven't been on Twitch in like 6 years or something like that. I don't really remember. So yeah, it's pretty damn old. I love them, and I still scream Flipendo randomly just because apparently I have problems. I don't know. So when Hogwarts Legacy was announced, I was baffled, shocked, taken aback, flabbergasted, floored, and whatever other synonym you want to use for the word shook. The game is set in the 1800s in an open world adventure game where you basically create your own story, character, and just discover the world. And yes, please. Now, I'm pretty damn sure that I'll be on that game streaming here on YouTube. I can almost guarantee it. I feel like it's probably going to be something I'm going to do, mostly because, well, it's something I did with the other Harry Potter games, and even though this isn't really a Harry Potter game or more like a Hogwarts game, I still think it's like, I don't know, I'm probably going to do it for tradition for anybody that has followed me, like those 3 people that followed me back then, like, oh yeah, I remember Flipendo. So, I don't know. Now, realistically, the game is set to be releasing in 2022 because it was just recently delayed, but I have a semblance of hope that it will release this year, maybe like later this year, but probably not. I'm still hoping, but I don't know. And I am hoping that it will have some co-op or some multiplayer aspects to it. I think it could be really cool. I think right now as a base game that we know, it looks really fantastic and sounds super fantastic, so I hope they kind of build on that. I guess we'll see. Number 1, Battlefield. I am in no way, shape, or form a fan of Battlefield. I suck at it. I've played a lot of them, and I'm terrible at them. I'm just so bad. I have no idea. But I can appreciate the fact that the game stopped its yearly releases to create what the development team says to be a true next generation experience coming soon. Now, seriously, they didn't release anything last year or the year before, I believe, to work on this. I mean, apparently they're adding some pretty interesting things, and it's only set to release on next generation consoles and PC. So not much is known about this Battlefield, whether it's Battlefield 6 or Battlefield 2021, we don't really know what it's going to be called. But I guess the reason I'm most hyped about it is because if Call of Duty stopped its yearly release, and it releases one every year, it's not the same developers, mind you. I mean, there's like Sledgehammer, there's Ravensoft, there's Treyarch, Infinity Ward, so they're all kind of like, it's multiple development teams kind of working together, so they kind of release every year, but they're really working on it like every 2 years. But the fact that they actually stopped, and imagine if they stopped, actually took the time to create a true next generation shooter, much like this upcoming space shooter by the name of Boundary, which is not on this list, but I'm actually probably going to be playing that this year, and I might stream it or not, not really sure. And yeah, I think that would just be slick. But to stop your development of your biggest seller, or rather, not the development, but the yearly release, to work on something this huge, I'm pretty excited about it, and I'm hoping that that lives up to the hype. We'll see, but I think Battlefield could be pretty huge this year. We'll see. Now for an honorable mention. Originally this was going to be number 1, but I thought about it and I just thought, I'm just going to call it honorable mention. Back 4 Blood. Now Back 4 Blood, oh dear. I can still remember the days of Yonder where I'd spend hours upon hours on PC and Xbox 360 playing Left 4 Dead 2. That's right, I was on Xbox 360 for some time. I think it was on around PlayStation 3? Wait, or 2? This was before the days of mods, where I remember I was having a blast with my bandmates at the time, and how fun it was. Right before we would go and start jamming, we would just play this game non-stop. It was a true zombie experience like no other. And really, I guess I'm more excited for Back 4 Blood because of nostalgic reasons, but I am curious how it will turn out, as pretty much the same developers that originally worked on Left 4 Dead and Left 4 Dead 2 have decided to work on a spiritual successor, since I'm totally guessing that they can't use the word Left 4 Dead because Valve owns it, pretty much. So to work around that and offer this badass memory and, well, I guess create something huge out of it, I'm excited. I am worried that the cash shop system will be pretty heavy. I don't know why, but I have this feeling that the game's going to be riddled with microtransactions. I don't know why, but it's just a gut feeling. I guess we'll have to wait and see. And yeah, guys, those are my top 10 or 11 games that I'm most excited for this year, whether it's a release or an update like TERA for next generation consoles. So let me know what you guys are most excited for in the comments below. I love reading the comment section, and I try my absolute best to answer every single comment if I can. But I do read them. I read every single comment. So let me know and let's chat. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe and click that adorable f***ing bell to know when I upload a brand new video. And don't forget to come join my Discord if you want to chat and hang out. Much love, and as always, till next time, friends.